So the idea that, and you've actually stated a lot of the ideas, but the long term goal and the short term goal are connected by my going to people in the countries we've spoken of. In this case, we're talking about Haiti and La République Dominique. Um, to go and talk to mostly young people, but also corporate type people, if that's in the cards, and explain to them that there are more opportunities ever in history right now to make a really good living in any country because of the internet and because of all the help and advice that's available online and the relationships that can be built online with a global community. That's that's one piece. Another piece is to explain to people that life in America is not everything that people think it is. That there is a declining life expectancy in this country. There is a bigger and bigger burden of sick people and taxes to take care of them and suffering and attitudes that are not the attitudes of a young, expansive, positive economy. That said, the United States, in other ways, remains an incredibly valuable place to function in, and it has tremendous opportunities for those who are willing to deeply understand the country, deeply understand the culture, and know how to navigate around all the resistance that is appearing culturally and economically in this country. So we want to give people a better idea of America so that people don't spend their lives thinking, if only I lived in the United States, then I'd have a real life. People all over the world are falsely imagining that it's not possible to have a meaningful existence in some less quote unquote important country, or less quote unquote developed country, or less quote unquote advanced country. My point is, there is no such thing anymore. The world that's all finished. The world is a very different place than 10 years ago. And so if we can help people to see that, we can help people to become their own explorers and begin to find like-minded people and new ideas on this infinitely expanding internet, and to help people become the people that they really want to become. Now, as the time goes forward, I expect to get paid for these types of lectures. But in the beginning, the point is to start spreading this knowledge, to start doing this at no cost to the universities or institutions for an extended period of time, but to, in exchange, to get some well-produced, high-quality, super kick-ass professional videos that can then be part, exactly, a video portfolio, develop a really passionate following, and develop a real reputation that these ideas definitely will attract. In another aspect is to get a group of people, or many different groups of people, to begin developing new ideas for new business ventures. And I'm not that kind of expert yet. Maybe one day I will be. I'm not sure of it, but we could definitely have a role in putting people together, or putting people in touch with each other and with their own creativity to develop business plans and launch businesses. And it would be great down the line if I have a part of that in terms of the profit that are made from some of these, if I'm helping to guide these things. But that's not my primary objective. My primary objective for me personally is to simply be able to finance a high level international ongoing lecture tour for several months of my life every year, if not permanently on the road. Who knows what the future has? Um, and just live a decent, healthy existence while doing this new kind of lifestyle and new kind of work. But I really, really want to help build the lives of people who just haven't heard certain types of ideas. And then I guess last but but hardly least is there is a let's call it spiritual. There's a psychological aspect to why we each person is limited. Everyone has limitations in his or her life. Most of the world labels it economic. You know, if only I had more money, if only I had a better boss, a better job, a better country to live in. There's all of this outer, it's always if something were different on the outer level. And there's a very expanding set of ideas and practices that, have many different labels, many different followings. Some of it's religion, some of it's just self-development or personal development. Some of these are famous people like Tony Robbins, but there's an expanding universe of people who have really proven that what my attitudes are govern what I'm attracting. So that's that's sort of like the scarlet thread that's going to be running through these lectures. And that's really the summary.